The US is now planning to pull most of her troops out of Bosnia. There are other wars to fight. Catching Karadžić after 7 years is now their exit strategy. The US ambassador in Sarajevo admits the operation has been stepped up.
I think it's in part because of September 11th and in part because of the delay that you're talking about.
You know, Karadžić is allegedly responsible for the killing of over 7,000 men in Srebrenica alone. In very cold terms, the disaster of the World Trade Center, that it seems that, you know, suddenly the focus is all on bin Laden and not on Karadžić.
I think there is a question in people's mind about fairness and justice, and that these are two individuals, in particular we're talking about Mladic and Karadžić, that need to be brought to the Hague if we're going to close a very terrible chapter in local history here, and if this society is going to be able to move on and build a viable Bosnia and Herzegovina.
Given the sort of intelligence cock-up that happened, there are people who would say that could it be that it's not, as Machiavelli says, what's done but what's seen to be done? Huge, high-profile operation, Americans involved, we're going to go in there and get Karadžić, when actually you hadn't a hope of getting him. Sources we've spoken to said that he wasn't there, that it was, you know, it was for show.
I disagree with that, and I don't believe it's a cock-up. We, I think, are pretty certain that Karadžić is in that general region. We're ready to act on information as we get it, and we're serious about making these attempts. And I'm very hopeful that at the end of the day, they'll produce results.
And in the end, the Serbs of Bosnia were left with all this. A ruined country. Anyone who can leave has left. UN soldiers patrol the streets, watching the backs of the old. They are the only non-Serbs who dare return, too tired for death in exile. This is Karadžić's kingdom. Now the world wants to lock up the Serb prince as a war criminal. The UN in Bosnia is run by Jacques Klein. The country frustrates him deeply. Karadžić's freedom confines him. He knows it influences every aspect of society.
I keep urging him now, press on. You need to get it done. We have an election coming this year. And Karadžić is still an outstanding factor in all of this.
Klein says the big problem was that while the UN rushed in to help Bosnia after the peace deal, there was no strategy.
To be very candid, when we came into Bosnia-Herzegovina, we had no plan. In Germany and Japan after World War II, we had a plan and structure. And here we came in and said, if we stop the violence, they will stop the war, and they will rebuild their societies. But the war never ended. The war went on. Obfuscation, delay, avoidance, everything you can imagine. And we still aren't there.
These are the first recruits from Jacques Klein's new police academy. It's taken 7 years to even begin to create a police force for the infant state.
Karadžić has to be arrested. There's no doubt about that. Now, why? His continued freedom emboldens hardline Serbs to resist.
Yeah.
He's still the godfather of the SDS and the militants and hardliners in the eastern part of the RS.
Between the collective forces of the French, the British, the Germans, the Americans, surely, you know, they can get together 30 guys and get out of a helicopter and get Karadžić.
Well, it's not really that easy because there are...
Tell me, please, somebody explain. Why?
He has sympathizers.
Yeah.
You know, when you move helicopters, when a helicopter takes off from here, I'm sure there's someone out here calling someone.
Yeah.
Saying 2 Blackhawks just took off from Budimir.
Yeah.
So you have to assume that many Serbs do not believe in Bosnia-Herzegovina, never have, that Karadžić has a great number of sympathizers within the official structure of governance and probably, candidly, even in the police.
But they're trying to build a new state with foundations still full of rotten wood.